everybody, and welcome to Sportswave, coming to you this month from the Sungod Recreation Center. We're joined by no stranger to Sportswave, Mr. Kerry Bysouth. Kerry, beautiful facility. It's been in operation now, what, 3 or 4 months?
4 months. We opened in early October with our grand opening, and we haven't stopped yet.
Very, very impressive. We haven't had the luxury, and we apologize for not going through it yet. Just been time restraints. But we look behind us, there's a couple of new pools, a big major addition that we're standing in front of.
Yeah, the overall capital cost was over $10 million, and that went into buying a lot of water. As you can see behind us, we call this our sunshine pool. With all the windows in this facility, it gets a lot of sunshine. It's an 8-lane pool with a ramp to access it on the far side. There's also a swirl pool directly behind that. And then just off to the side of that is our steam room and sauna. And we also added a leisure pool, which we call the fun pool, where families can come and just play in lots of shallow water with the water features. Explain to me the clock that's on the wall over here. I'm looking at it, and it looks like it was put in by the Sunfish Swim Club. That's our summer swimming club. They did a major fundraising campaign, and one of their major items was to put in a timing system for competitions. So that clock registers your race results at each lane. Every time you hit the touchpad, the results go up on the board. And in between times, we can use it to advertise other things that are happening in and around the center. Wow, very, very impressive. How have the numbers been so far? They've been terrific. Our numbers are significantly up. We've been overwhelmed by the popularity of the facilities. Between the weight room, the gymnasium, the aerobic studio, and all this new water, it's really added to our patronage, and we're having some really exceptional attendance at very specific programs. Wow, good luck with this thing. And what's the hours, we should ask you before we let you go, what are the hours of operation? Well, we're open a lot of hours. Weekdays you start at 6 in the morning, go till 9:30 or more at night. On the weekends it's all day. We're starting at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, going to 8 o'clock at night, and it's busy, busy, busy. Well, we know you're a busy man, Kerry. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the pool and the complex. Come back anytime.
I won't say complex, I say recreation center. It's doing very, very good business in North Delta.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Once again, a very special thank you to Mr. Kerry Bysouth for stopping by and telling us about the renovated Sungod Recreation Center. Well, if you like curling, don't change the dial. We got a special feature for you. It's called the Strathcona Cup. The Tunneltown Curling at the South Delta Recreation Center hosted this event this year. This is where 56 curlers come over from Scotland. Half start in the west and half start in the east coast of Canada. It's held every 5 years. They compete. They do not get paid. They're curlers that compete for the love of the sport. And if you like it, stay tuned, because we take you up front and personal with what this event is all about.
Bob, tell me about today's event and a little bit about the Strathcona Cup.
Well, the Strathcona Cup is the oldest international curling competition in the world. It's been contested between Canada and Scotland now, and this is its 100th year. Every 5 years, teams from Canada and Scotland get together for a countrywide competition. And this year, of course, it's the Scots' turn to visit Canada.
Bob, tell me a bit about the competition that you see here in Tsawwassen today.
We find the competition's very strong, and players are playing very well. The ice rinks are playing very well, very good ice. Maybe a wee bit more turn than we have in Scotland. And the people are very friendly.
Do you think the competition is raised up a bit because they know you're coming and they want to beat you guys? Do they?
I think some rinks are.
Do you really want to beat you guys?
Yes, they're up to beat us.
Yeah.
We were warned before we left home that the Canadians will be up to beat you.
So how far into your 3-week stint in Canada are you right now?
The first week we've been here.
You've been here a week.
Yes.
And how have you guys fared? How many games have you played in that 1 week?
We've played 10.
10 games in 7 days? You guys are busy.
Yeah, we're busy.
So,
I think overall we're about 5 shots behind.
Oh, well, that's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. So once you leave Tsawwassen here, where do you guys go next?
We're staying out still in Vancouver, and then we're going over to Vancouver Island.
Okay, that's good.
So we're looking forward to the rest of it very much. The hospitality is...
And how many local, how did you pick the local curlers that are going to play tonight?
Well, it's a real treat for our curlers to be able to take part in this, and as you can well imagine, it was hotly contested to win a spot. We actually took our top 4 teams from each of our 2 men's leagues and had them play off for 4 of the spots, and then our senior men's league selected 2 teams to fill out the 6-team draw.
Just go back a little bit, Bob. How did Tsawwassen get picked? Are they not playing in Surrey or Cloverdale, or how did they land here in Tsawwassen?
Well, it's very, very strict records are kept of the competition, and as the clubs visit Canada, they try and involve as many of the clubs as possible, almost on a rotational basis.
So the ones that didn't get picked maybe 5 years ago, they'll try and get those guys in this year.
Absolutely, and they also are somewhat restricted by the size of the clubs because they do want to have 6 games going on, and ideally you go to a club that has 6 sheets of ice at least.
Yeah. 5 years ago, Canadians were in Scotland, is that correct? Who won that year?
I think it was the Canadians.
The Canadians beat you guys.
Yeah,
were you there last 5 years ago?
I was there 5 years ago, and I was there 15 years ago when they were there.
So you took a year off, or 10 years ago you were off, yeah?
No, 15 years ago when the Canadians were there.
Okay.
10 years ago, I think, we beat the Canadians over here.
So how does it usually work? Has there been a big rivalry where the Scottish have won 5 times in a row, or has it pretty well been even?
I think the Canadians will be.
Their tour ends, I believe, towards the middle of February, at which time they return to Scotland, and the records are updated as to who is the victorious squad this year, and the cup itself remains in Scotland. But the winners, of course, are recorded on a plaque on the cup itself.
Switching venues, we change from curling to basketball, where Seacom hosted the North Delta Huskies in a game of solid action at its finest. Seacom come out on top, dominating Delta Huskies by about 20 points. This could be the year where the Seacom team ends up in the final round for the AAA Basketball Championship at the Acrodome. Stay tuned, and we're going to see how they prevail. Had a chance to talk to both coaches and get their inside views on the teams.
Coach, you have a fairly young team this year, only 2 players returning from last season. How's the team look so far this season?
We've been pleased with this season so far. We did only have the 2 returning players, Charnjeev Mashiana and Jason Baines. They both played very well, and we've had several grade 11s who stepped up and made big contributions. We're 3-1 right now, 2nd place in league, and we're very happy with that.
You guys are considered a bit of an underdog in this game tonight. Not usually the place for the Huskies in this rivalry against Seacom. What are some of the keys for you guys coming out on top tonight?
Well, I think that, Seacom's a very good team. They're a very balanced team inside and out. For us to be successful, the most important things are probably going to be defensive transition and handling the basketball. They're outstanding at finishing on the break in 2-on-1 and 3-on-1 situations, and they get most of those because they're very good pressuring the basketball. If we handle both those things and keep it a half-court game, we'll give ourselves a much better chance to compete.
How's the team looked as of late?
Good. We had some mental lapses, and the kids have learned from it. It was a good time to have it at this part of the season. I'm glad they learned something from it, and hopefully we can come out the second half now firing.
You've been in a ton of these games, Huskies against the Seahawks. Huge rivalry. Is the intensity level picked up a little bit during these games?
Oh, definitely. This is what high school basketball is all about. The kids look forward to this one all year. This is what high school should be with all around. Rivals like this cross town, it just makes out for a good battle. Usually one team's maybe stronger than the other, but when it comes to this game, both teams are about equal.
So what do we expect to see from your team tonight?
I think we're just going to look to get the ball inside. We have quite a height difference. We're a lot taller than them. We're just going to work the ball and be patient, use our athleticism and our quickness just to overpower them.
Johal worked over by Chima. Chima guards strongly against him. Back into Vickery. Vickery looks, sets it up. Johal's wide open. Couldn't get it to on the far side to Franklin. Franklin wide open, sets. 12 seconds left and counting. Single-handed pass. Going back. Over. Inside. Back to Johal. Johal stops. Looks. Takes a jumper on the shot. 4 seconds. Clock ticking down. Trying for the rebound. Couldn't get it down. Coach Akira finally gets the basket, and it counts at the end. It counts at the end. Yes, the basket was good. 76. He's at 59. Let's see if we can everybody's in front of us.
78-58 up there.
78.
How you doing?
78-58, and the Gores Bernie's up here selling his autographs. Final score, BC High School boys AAA basketball game coming to you from Seacwam Senior Secondary.
Congratulations on the win. Not that this game was ever really in any sort of doubt. Were you surprised at the Huskies' ability to keep this game competitive throughout?
Yeah, I don't know if it was so much their ability to do it or just us getting laid back with the lead. We've always been a team that's tried to just go after teams when we smell blood, go at it, but today they just kind of got a little bit more in the offensive mind. They had a big crowd here, TV, newspapers. They wanted to really show for themselves, and I think that kind of hurt us a bit with the score. Like you said, the score wasn't in jeopardy at all of them coming back, but yeah, I was surprised that they actually did keep it within 20.
It seemed like throughout the game, I mean, they're a younger team, mostly grade 11s. It seemed like they just couldn't really deal with the physical play of, especially the guys down low. Is that the impressions you got from the game?
Yeah, the physicalness. I mean, 1 year difference is a huge year between the grade 11 and 12 year, and the experience is a big thing. Height, we were much bigger and stronger than they were in the post, and we were able to exploit that a little bit.
Well, no stranger to Sportswave is Mr. Andrew Mustard, friend for Delta Cable. He talks to us every year, and this is no different. Talks to us about the PCAHA Midget Scholarship Program hosted by Pacific Coast. Where's it going? What's he see in the future? Some of the elite midget players in the Lower Mainland took place in this event.
The event, first of all, is intended to recognize graduating midgets, which are 17 years old as of December 31st, or this year we've permitted players who were 16 years old but are graduating from high school in June to opt in if they wish. Those are the kids that were affected by the dual entry kindergarten 12 years ago. To qualify for the tournament, they must have a C+ average at school, no serious penalties, no match penalties, gross misconducts, that sort of thing, and they must be recommended by their own club team. In the tournament, we award 4 special bursary awards of $500 each, one to a player on each team, who best exemplifies excellence in sportsmanship during the course of the tournament.
Talk to President for North Delta Minor Hockey, Jimmy Musselwhite, also at the Midget Scholarship Game, and he tells us what the future holds for North Delta. Is the registration up or is it down? Where does he see it going, and what changes are North Delta Minor Hockey looking at making?
Steve, we've had a wonderful year in Delta. Hockey is really growing again in North Delta, and we've tried to introduce a lot of the fun elements that, you know, like when you and I were growing up, we used to have a lot of fun playing hockey. We're trying to bring fun back to hockey in North Delta, and quite frankly, I think we're succeeding, so I feel very good about it.
Numbers for a few years seem to diminish. Are they on the growth now?
We had 4 straight years of declining registration numbers. This year we were up 112 players, and quite frankly, I think we're going to do even better next year. We're raising the awareness and the image and the fun, Steve.
What about the age change that the CHA implemented? How has that affected the hockey in the Delta area?
The age change has presented us with quite a learning curve. I mean, we've got to re-educate coaches on they got to start teaching things a little bit better. But you know what? I like the age change for a number of those reasons. And one of them is that we're now getting the opportunity to bring 5-year-olds into hockey, and we're concentrating on skill development as well as teaching them hockey and bringing them into a team environment, and I feel good about it.
Some people might think that, you know, 5 years old, gee, that's a little bit too young to get them involved in organized sports.
You know, Steve, I was one of those old school thinkers, but one of our coaches has a couple of children in our association. He's got a 3-year-old. And this 3-year-old's been skating since he's 1.5, and we allowed him to come in this year. He's 3.5 years old, turning 4. Now he's going to be in that younger age group for a number of years. And the thing of it is, though, this little 3.5-year-old outskates a lot of our 6- and 7-year-olds. But he doesn't have the attention span. And that's okay, because it's fun. That's what we want. We want fun. We have purposely put fewer children on teams so they get more ice time, more touches of the puck. The parents are happy, the players are happy, the skill level is improving. So we have more teams, and next year I believe we're going to get a better enrollment, a stronger enrollment, because we're going to work at it in the off season, and I expect more players and more teams next year as well.
That's all well to have more teams, but where do you get the ice time?
That's a challenge. That is a challenge. One that I need to work with Delta Parks and Rec and the Parks Commission, and we go to outside arenas. And when you add it all up, our association, when you take into consideration all the teams and the extra ice that they want, we're spending considerable dollars outside our own association arenas for ice time. So that is a challenge, and we're aware of it, and we're working on it. Of course, we're always at and supporting the North Delta Flyers in our community. Steve, that's been a great addition to hockey in North Delta.
I'm glad you put that that one in, because I was going to ask you, the relationship between the minor hockey in Delta and the Flyers organization.
I got to tell you, working with the Flyers has been pleasurable, and it is also raising the awareness of minor hockey, because our tyke and novice division are they're represented at every North Delta Flyer home game, and it's been marvelous.
Well, it can't hurt having a team captain for Richard Muller, one of the Delta, residents.
One of the Delta boys. We're very proud of Richard Molinar. He's doing extremely well. It's my son and Richard played together for many years. It's been great for North Delta.
Okay, so if someone wants to get a hold of you about some minor hockey programs, upcoming events in Delta, equipment sales, whatever it might be, what's the phone number they can get a hold of you?
Well, the phone number is very straightforward. It's 604-813-5777. That's my direct line. But I would prefer that people go online to ndhockey.com. That's our website, and it shares with everyone all of the activities and everything that is going on in the North Delta minor hockey community.
You know that hockey can be a very expensive business to get the young people, boys or girls, involved in these days. We had a chance just over a year ago to talk to President and CEO, Mr. Hughie Bruhn of the Composite Hockey Stick, now based, we are pleased to say, now based out of Surrey, 152nd and Highway number 10. We had a chance to talk to him, and he tells us, number one, why he located back to Canada and where he expects the stick to go from here. Gentleman beside me is the President and CEO of CST, Mr. Hughie Bruhn. And the reason we brought him here, or didn't purposely bring him here, but the reason we're promoting this is a new hockey stick that's on the market. We produced it over a year ago. It's produced and built in Texas, but now there's been a change as to what's taking place. And Hughie, maybe you can enlighten us what's going on. First off, we should make mention, we do have a hat that Hughie's graciously given us, and this is the hat with the logo on it. So if you see these hats around, it's promoting this stick, and I'll hold the stick up now so we can get a good shot of that. It's called the Snake Bite Hockey Stick. There's two types of sticks. One is a Snake Bite, the other one is the X-Flex. Okay, Hughie, first off, welcome and thank you for joining us today at the Rec Center North Delta.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, for bumping into you again. I'm very proud to be back home here in Delta. You were so convincing at our last interview, I just had to move my plant here.
Now, since you and I last talked, your company was down in Texas. You've relocated it up here. Your company, the relocation for the plant is actually at 152 on Highway 10?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, what we did is that we basically continue our operation in Texas, but then we're going into another line of different styles of hockey sticks and juniors as well. And of course, we're introducing, as you know, the Player's Edge in the area. And we moved up something like 22,000 pounds of equipment to make this all happen. So since we last met, yeah, we've been working, but I should have lost more weight.
It didn't happen, and it wasn't going to happen. But regardless of that, the stick is very proven. We've given it to different individuals. Wayne Babbage is involved with the company. But besides this, you've got something very unique that I think, and we mentioned the last time you and I talked about the fact that it's family affordable. You alluded to the fact of a Player's Edge in a contract that people can get into when they buy this. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, well, basically what we've done, we've taken the markup savings that would normally come, that is necessary for any store to participate with, and pass it on to the parents. In other words, what we've done is that when you purchase from one of our distributors our hockey stick, for an additional $10, you get what's called the Player's Edge, which is a lifetime maintenance program with the stick. So regardless of how you break it, you send us $39.95 plus shipping and handling. We'll send you another one. So what it does, it turns around, and first of all, it's incredibly affordable at this point in time, which is about less than half of our competition. But again, we've cut that again to pass the savings on to the hockey families, and that's what we want to do.
Well, nowadays we all know that it's very expensive for families to have young people, especially if you got more than one player in the family.
Well, basically, we've learned that very much firsthand. We have one of our shareholders, Cleveland Aswell, has 3 boys in hockey, and they're very aggressive players. So yeah, he spends a lot of time tuning them up with new sticks, and it gets very expensive.
Now, you've got Wayne Babbage involved with CST, and Wayne Babbage is out here mid part of February about the Legends game.
Well, actually, we're very excited about that, Steve. I talk with Wayne quite often, and they're going to be up in Whistler the week of the February the 21st, and they're going to do an exhibition game with apparently all the legends and some Hollywood celebrities. So what we're doing, we're going to encompass that with our factory opening, and hopefully Wayne can get a couple of his legends to come down, along with hopefully some of the movie stars. We'll put some bang for the buck into it, you know.
I know, well, you've got our support behind you on the stick, because we have given it out. In fact, I actually give the stick out to use to John Craighead's wife, Wendy, and Wendy uses it when she plays the women's hockey program, and she loves the stick. She thinks it's very, very, worthwhile for what she needs. She likes what it can do for her, as well as other people throughout the province, as well as Canada. But the thing with this is, if somebody wants to get a hold of it and they're looking at purchasing a stick, who are they going to give a call to? You got a phone number where they can phone?
Well, basically, at this point in time, you can probably reach us on our 604 596-4890, and of course, if we're not there, as we're in the back of the factory, we haven't quite got our showroom set up yet, but just get a hold of us. One of our distributors will get a hold of you, and hopefully you can get in the family plan, as we call it.
And if you don't get a hold of Hughie, get a hold of me. You always see me walking around the Delta area, and we'll put you in touch with this new product on the market that, as we mentioned before, family affordable for you, the sports-minded individual. Sportswave coming to you this month from the Sungod Recreation Center. I want to thank Mr. Kerry Bysouth at the top of the program for joining us and giving us a little bit of insight as to how the facility is operating to date. Well, first we want to congratulate the BC Hockey Hall of Fame. This coming July the 25th, they're going to be inducting 5 new members in the Hockey Hall of Fame. 2 former Vancouver Canucks will be inducted. They will be Doug Lidster and Darcy Rota. Of course, Darcy Rota, now the general manager for the Coquitlam Express. Also joining them in that same category will be Mr. Bert Marshall, general manager of the Detroit Red Wings, Mr. Ken Holland, and also hockey personality and legend, Mr. Howie Meeker. Congratulations to the BC Hockey Hall of Fame on all those inductees. Well, if you're like me, golf is one of your many passions in life, and the Air Canada Championship has been lost due to sponsorship. The Air Canada company could not come up with the $2 million required to host this event each and every year hosted at Northview. Sad to see him go by the wayside. You can even click on their website. It just says page can no longer be found. And we always wonder, is it going to be something else come to the location of the Lower Mainland? Hard to tell, especially with the bid for the 2010 Winter Olympics in progress right now and well underway. Now, with the loss of the ACC, also a question I have is whether or not the Molson Indy will stay around. The Molson Indy for this year, 2003, starts on the weekend of July the 25th. The loss of the ACC, we've lost some of the other professional sports in town. What's the future for the Molson Indy? Are they going to relocate? Rumor has it they were looking at relocating out to Boundary Bay. I don't really think that fits with the sponsorship. They're looking at a downtown location. Will they stick to the same track, the same format? I don't know. They don't have long left on their lease, but we hope they truly stay around because it's something that really envelops the Lower Mainland and puts BC, as well as the entire Lower Mainland, on the map as usual. Questions remain about that one. Hope you've enjoyed the show, coming to you from the Sungod Recreation Center. As usual, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching. If you don't play sports, at least be one.